I don't think there should be a referendum on immigration. There was no referendum on immigration before the numbers ramped up to the levels they're at. Indeed, we've had multiple elections in which Conservative Party has promised to reduce immigration dramatically and been voted in on that ticket and then failed to do it. And what was the Brexit referendum if it wasn't a referendum for taking back power from Brussels to the United Kingdom, but also to enforcing our borders? And immigration is out of control because our borders aren't enforced. We don't need a referendum for the British people to instruct our government to protect our borders. That should happen as a matter of course. That is what it means to be a nation state and a country. We don't need a referendum to tell us that we are a country that should be protected. So, I mean, I think Richard's being very gracious to the left-leaning, open-border, liberal nutcase brigade in saying we should have a referendum. But we don't need a referendum. We need to slash immigration dramatically, and we need to stop illegal migration. And the precise number on whether it should be 10,000, 20,000, whatever it should be determined year by year purely on what is in the British national interest in any given point in time, on no other metric. There's no global ideology here that should be playing out in domestic policy. It should be entirely driven by what the United Kingdom needs, having one firm eye on the cultural impact of immigration, which has been dramatic and excessive, in my view, in the last 5 to 10 years. And we've got to pare it back dramatically. So I think there's no cause for a referendum on immigration. And while I'm on that subject, Nigel Farage mentioned a few months ago that perhaps we should have a referendum on the European Convention of Human Rights. There should be no referendum on that either. Tony Blair elevated the European Court of Human Rights to being the highest judicial body in this country for human rights, above the Supreme Court, without a referendum. He did it in the Human Rights Act 1998. We simply need to repeal it. We don't need a foreign, unelected, unaccountable court directing how our laws are made in this country. We need control back in Parliament. We need control back in our courts. And we need control of immigration taking place immediately and our borders enforced. These are basic things that a democratic country should have in place.